not like you can transform. Oh yeah? Well, watch this.
Transformers 1 is the best Transformers movie ever. Look, I'm not the biggest on Transformers. I watched the Bay movies, I watched some of the animated shows, I collected some Bumblebee figurines when I was younger, that I unfortunately lost. But I'll say, out of every Transformers movie I've ever seen, which is almost all of them, this one, in my opinion, is the most fire! First off, this movie has no humans! Let's fucking go! That's 1 for Transformers and 0 for Sonic! Like, I really like Transformers and don't really need the humans. They're like an afterthought most of the time. I go in the theater wanting to see robots clanking at each other and not some dude from Brooklyn. And this movie did an amazing job at not making the Transformers feel alien for once. Like, yes, technically they're just robot aliens, but they're not supposed to feel alien to us, the audience. There's nothing I can latch on to these characters because most of the time they're just talking about some past war to a human who needs to fuck some girl. I don't really care about the war because I haven't really seen that war. I haven't really felt the loss of it, and I don't really care about Megatron as a villain because he's just being evil for being evil most of the time. I can't really sympathize with him like I do with some villains like Magneto or Thanos. But for once, I really liked Megatron. I honestly liked everyone in this movie. They all, for once, felt like people. These bots were people. This movie managed to make me care about the war and the robots, which I honestly couldn't give a rat's ass in the last few movies. This movie was charming and it actually made me laugh a few times instead of just pee. You see that it's peeing on. They say minors a lot in this movie, and every time the word minor was said, I just had a flashbang image of Diddy, and sometimes a flashback image of Epstein.
I'm sorry, are those minors? This is insane!
I watched this movie with my best friend and we both saw ourselves a lot in PAX and D16. Their friendship felt real, their bromance felt real, which made it all the more heartbreaking when in the end D16 turned into Megatron and in turn PAX turned into Optimus Prime.
Long live the king.
Some people said this movie has a Guardians of the Galaxy type feel, and I honestly genuinely agree. This movie does have some predictable plot lines like twist villain, but it's still so enjoyable. And if you can make a movie filled with cliches a good movie, then this is a great movie. You can tell a lot of the people who worked on this movie really loved the Transformers Prime series. They even brought on the same composer and had nearly the exact same animation art style. These guys not only loved Transformers Prime, they loved Transformers as a whole. There were not the classic stuff like Megatron's gun and Optimus's hand axe. It really feels like it was made with love and care for Transformers. Kinda like how the Spider-Verse movies love Spider-Man. I only had one complaint, and that's the transformation of D16 to Megatron felt a little bit rushed. Like, there's this scene where D16 punches a bad guy and goes, "Ooh, yeah, let's go," giving off some cyborg vibes. But then Orion is just like, whoa, dude, calm down, acting like bro's turning evil or something. Like, what did he do? He just punched the guy who was attacking you. But that's just my one complaint. And the fact that this is the only complaint is still very impressive. Also, fellas, how is this a kid's movie? No, seriously, this movie basically touches on slavery, racism, and government corruption, and on top of that, has some pretty cruel scenes of death and murder. But they always get away with it because, well, they're just robots, they're not real humans, which is bullshit, but it works to amp up the movie's violence anyway. Like the scene where a person just rips a villain in half like Thanos ripping Iron Man that one comic. You know the scene if you watch the movie. Like, this is pretty heavy for a kid's movie. It's a lot like X-Men First Class, and I really love that movie. It's the first time in a while I really love the Transformers, that I really care about the Transformers. So much so that I kind of hope they continue making animated movies like this. I know it will be very hard to repeat this amount of awesomeness or even double it, but man, I hope they stick with this. After seeing this movie, I no longer want to see another live-action Transformers. I don't even care that they're making a cinematic universe with G.I. Joe. Who the fuck cares about G.I. Joe? More robo-genocide, please! There is this scene in Transformers Prime. It's probably one of the most iconic scenes in the whole series, in my opinion. You see, at this point in time, because of the Michael Bay movies, the show took away Bumblebee's voice so the new audiences are not alienated. And the way this happened is that Megatron tortured him and crushed his voice box. So in this scene at the finale of the show, you think Bumblebee is dead, but then he stands up and stabs Megatron and speaks.
You took my voice. You will never rob anyone of anything ever again.
After being mute for the entirety of the show, I felt so much in that episode, and I can tell you I felt just as much with this movie. By the trailers alone, you'd think this would be just another funny kids movie, but when this movie gets serious, it gets serious. It doesn't shy away from emotion and individuality. It gave a truly amazing and heartbreaking backstory to the Transformers. Like, knowing this happy yellow dude who doesn't ever shut up will one day lose his voice is really, really sad. This isn't just another Transformers movie that's just sexual tension, exposition, and explosions. This is the real deal. This is the best Transformers movie. Fellas, thank you for watching this video. You may notice that my channel is small and does not have any sponsors, so I'd like to take a moment to ask you to donate to my Ko-fi so I can upgrade my equipment. I've been using the shit machine for a while, and if I can get a better PC, I'll be able to make more videos better and faster. So please, if you can donate just $1, that would help a lot.
What?
You just wondering if you got your photos printed? If you got your photos printed?